Let's review the least common multiple using the cake method. Let's start with 9 and 12. So I'm going to put 9 and 12 down here in my first cake layer. And I'm going to say, well, let's see what numbers go into both 9 and 12. Let's use a 3. 3 divided by 9, or 3 can go into 9 3 times. 3 can go into 12 4 times. This is our cake topper. We can't go any further because 3 and 4, there's not one number besides 1 that can go into both of those. To find our greatest common factor, we take our outside, or the frosting, and we multiply it if there's anything there. So far it's just 3 that's on the outside. The least common multiple, we're going to multiply more numbers, and this includes the 4 and the 3 on top. So I have the 3 times 3, which is 9, and 9 times 4 gives me 36. GCF and LCM. I could also take the 9/12 and I get 3/4 as my simplified fraction. Let's try one more. Let's try 5 and 6. Well, what number goes into both of those? Let's see, it can't be 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You know, they do have 1 in common. All numbers have the number 1 in common. So my greatest common factor is 1. That's okay when this happens. We just look at what we have left, and I'm going to multiply those for my least common multiple. 5 times 6 is 30. Remember that your least common multiple, even though it starts with least, it's not going to be the smaller number. It's the multiple that tells me it's going to be a bigger number than a factor. Because multiple, I'm multiplying to get bigger, whereas my factor, that uses division. And that's why my factor is always going to be lower than my multiple. The smallest factor that all numbers have is 1. Whereas the largest multiple, the greatest multiples, they never end. So just remember that my factor, my greatest common factor, is always going to be lower than my least common multiple. Here's one for you to try. Pause the video, and I'll have the answers when you unpause it. Here's the answers. How'd you do? Greatest common factor is 3. Your least common multiple is 3 times 4 times 5, which is 60. And your 12/15 gives you a reduced fraction of 4/5. Good job.